Alright, finally in 1978 there's a payphone I can record from in the Cabot, Vermont exchange. It's an independent step, which is local to only one other office, Marshfield. However, there's a Fiddle in Marshfield that will enable us to call further southwest from here than we're supposed to be able to do. This payphone unfortunately hums like hell. The actual phone line, I've used digital processing to reduce it on this program. Normally I don't do that, I just remove hum that is spurious, but if you were to use this payphone, it would sound worse than this. So anyway, let's start with the basic stuff. Dialing 1, the long-distance prefix from a payphone, isn't permitted. In this case, it slides over to the 11th terminal. After that, I'll call an actual working number in Cabot. Okay, I see I'm going to have to talk a lot about 1 kilohertz tones. Now in Cabot, if you hear this, what that means is there's a telephone ringing in your neighborhood with the normal 20 hertz ring current. The 1 kilohertz tone is added so that on the party lines that are sent over subscriber line carrier, the system at the subscriber end can tell who the call is for, because the old distinctive frequencies of ring current can't be sent over carrier, so they're using a different method, and the 1 kilohertz audio tone is associated with the standard 20 hertz ringing current here. So we'll be hearing the 1 kilohertz tone coming in like that, off and on quite a bit. Now there were some other places that used the 1 kilohertz tone associated with automatic number identification. Gap, Pennsylvania, for example.
Your number, please.
And in that office, as well as Rawlinsville, Pennsylvania, the 1 kilohertz tone in the background meant that someone near to you, CO connection-wise, was making a long-distance call. So it's the same kind of sound, meaning a completely different thing. But of course, the place we find the 1 kilohertz tone the most in telephony is on telephone company test lines. Here's a call to a local 1 kilohertz tone test line in the Cabot CO. I'll turn the volume down. Here's dialing my own number, 563-2752. At least as far back as the middle 1960s, the Cabot CO had a ringback circuit which was used by party line customers to call each other. They would dial 29, or actually in the 60s it was 19, but in the 70s it was 29, plus a 2-digit code indicating who was making the call and who they wanted to alert. The caller would then hang up. The ringback circuit would hold the line and ring until somebody picked up or until it timed out. And this was the way that party line callers were able to reach each other, because if you just picked up the phone and dialed that person's phone number, you would get a busy signal, as we have just seen, dialing our own number. Same problem if you dial another number on your line, you're going to get a busy. Anyway, Cabot had a ringback circuit on 29 from 1970 through 1976. But now that I've come back in 1978, I find the ringback circuit is gone. They now have a callback circuit, which actually is a little easier on the phone company because now they don't have to print out a separate card for every Party Line subscriber telling them what specific code to dial for each person on their Party Line. So now, instead of dialing 29 plus a 2-digit code, you dial 28 plus the 7-digit number of the person you want to alert. The callback circuit doesn't hold your line. Instead, it allows the call to release and then literally calls back whatever number you dial. So if you call someone on your line, the person you indicated will have their phone ring, and you just have to wait a reasonable amount of time for them to pick up the phone, and then you pick up your phone and you guys can talk. And that's the way the callback circuit works at this late date. I never thought I'd see one in Cabot, Vermont after all that work they did getting the ringback circuit to work and typing up the cards and getting confused thinking that payphones can't be on 9. Well, anyway, it all means nothing now. So now I'm curious, can you call the callback circuit through the callback circuit? Let's dial 28 to go into the callback circuit, and once in it, let's dial 28. See if we can get another one. And if that seems to work, we can dial 28 again. We'll end up finding out how many there are. Eventually, we should get a reorder tone. Once I do get the reorder, I'll keep dialing 1s until the callback circuit superimposes the busy signal, and that's going to make it hold everything up for a couple of minutes. So there are only 2. Not unreasonable for an office that only has 500 numbers, and a subset of those are on party lines. After doing that, dialing 28 from the phone should indicate that all the callback circuits are busy, because that first one is holding up the second one, and until callback circuit number 1 gives up, it's going to be like this. Yes, the callback circuits are all busy for the next few minutes. Now on the last 2 calls, we do hear a sign that the multi-party party lines, more than 2 people, are still active and in use in 1978. This tone. That's 2200 Hertz, which means that somebody in this neighborhood is party number 3 or party number 8 and their phone was just ringing. So while the callback circuit is busy, let's go ahead and call Marshfield 426. Here's a call to a supervision test. And in the background on this call, you can hear the 1 kilohertz tone associated with somebody in this neighborhood who has a normal 20 hertz bell. The brand new callback circuits in Cabot appear to be completely unrestricted as far as I can tell from the tape. Now that they are free again, let's dial 28 to go into one of them, then a 2, and then 0. This will enable us to call our local operator without her getting the tone that tells her that I'm at a coin phone. So I can ask for assistance on a long-distance call, calling a permanently busy number in Ben's exchange, just to make a point without making a mess.
Could you get me area code 212-634 9970
Your number?
563-2752.
Have you tried dialing?
Yes, I have.
What happened?
Getting a busy signal. Fast busy signal.
Busy circuit. That's busy.
Sounds real this time. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You see what I could have done there? I could have given her Ben's number. We could have talked for free, and maybe they would call Ben, but he wouldn't say who called him, so the phone company would be stuck with the bill. And that's exactly why we had no interest in completing calls using that sort of thing. There were so many cool hacks that didn't make a mess like that, and one of those is coming up after we call the operator. This time let's dial it normally so the tone will sound and she'll know we're at a payphone.
Operator?
Can I have directory assistance, please?
For where?
Plainfield.
Thank you. Directory assistance? What city?
Plainfield?
Where?
Plainfield?
All right, what name?
What's the main number for Goddard College?
The main number is 454-8311.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The operator pulled her cord before I hung up, so it's ringing again and another operator will answer.
Operator?
Can I dial 454 direct from here?
No, sir.
How much does it cost to call?
Just a moment, I'll check. $0.35.
Okay, thank you. I'll call it later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
The point of that call was to demonstrate that Goddard College is not a local call. You cannot dial it from this phone. So let's dial it from this phone. I'm going to dial 26 to go into Marshfield, 426, where someone in the phone company has kindly set up what's called a fiddle. It's actually a trunk that's not supposed to be there. If you dial 1 and you're lucky, you go into Plainfield, and once I'm in Plainfield, I can just dial 8311, and Goddard College is now a local call. If I had a dime, or maybe it's 20 cents by now, I don't recall, I could talk to them. From a Cabot home phone, that would be free. Two absorbs, now 6. And we're in Marshfield. That's legit. Now 1. And thank you, whoever you are. We are now in Plainfield, where we shouldn't be able to go. So let's just call Goddard.
Goddard College?
That was great, but I didn't get the ringtone on Goddard College because they answer so quickly all the time. Let's do it again.
Goddard College? Hello? Goddard.
When I first found the fiddle, it was 1976, and the way I found out what it was this.
This is a recording at Plainfield and East Calais, Vermont.
And that recording is a good thing to have in a little central office on vacant levels, because it catches people who have misdialed and they hang up, so in most cases no operator is involved. That was the old way, and Vermont used to have a rich selection of local recordings in each and every central office.
I'm sorry.
sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time. If you need assistance, please hang up and dial your operator. This is a recording in Grand Isle, Vermont. This is a recording at Williamstown, Vermont. I'm sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Please be sure you have dialed or called the right number. If you need assistance, please call your operator. This is a recording at Jacksonville, Vermont. I'm sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time. Please be sure you have dialed or called the right number. If you need assistance, please call your operator.
Around 1975, the switchmen themselves started doing the recordings, but they were still there, and they were still saving operator time. But by 1978, a new modern system called AIS, the Automatic Intercept System, was replacing all vacant level intercept in New England. It really didn't make any sense to do that in Vermont because the old recording machines were already in place. For AIS, they have to put multiple trunks together to get it down to Brockton, Massachusetts. But hey, they wanted to do it, and fortunately AIS did have a way to handle vacant levels. It sounded like this.
The number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number and dial again.
And that would cut through to an operator, but at least most people would hang up. Unfortunately, there were many offices, including Plainfield, that did it the wrong way, and it isn't an improvement. Here's before.
This is a recording at Plainfield and East Calais.
And here's now.
Operator, what number are you dialing, please?
454-2111.
The number you have reached, 454-2111, is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. 454-2111 is not in service.
Now let me get this straight. You're going to take a good old 7A recorder that is already there and working fine.
This is a recording at Plainfield and East Calais, Vermont.
And replace it with a trunk from Plainfield to Montpelier, connected to another trunk from Montpelier down to White River Junction, and then a third trunk down to Brockton, Massachusetts, to then have an operator query the number. And by the way, this is a vacant level. There has never been a 454-2 anything. So there's not going to be a referral, and what do you think it's going to say after you've used 3 trunks and taken an operator's time? It's of course going to say,
is not in service.
Cheat-a-deep, you hear that? Those are the 3 trunks going on hook in sequence. And because 2600 controlled trunks take time to go off hook, the beginning of the announcement is mutilated so that this,
the number you have reached,
becomes this.
The number you have reached.
You know, Bill Acker in the early 80s told me that he had heard that the Brockton, Massachusetts AIS operator room had maybe, I don't know, some multiple of the number of operator consoles compared to all the other AISs in the country. And this was part of the reason. Sending vacant levels to operators, not a good idea. And there were also places like Greenfield, Massachusetts, which had been using their own local centralized intercept, sending everything to an operator with no recording. And when those places switched to AIS, well, that just required more operators down in Brockton. And what was the official purpose for AIS when Western Electric invented it?
Busy Bell System intercept operators will be relieved of 95% of the missed dial calls they now answer.
Right. Well, in most places, New England accepted, that did happen. Meanwhile, somewhere along the Upper Walden Road, there is definitely a multi-party line still in use, because during a previous call, Either party number 4 or party number 9 definitely had their phone ring. 2700 hertz.
Could you get me area code 212?
Here's a blocked level in Plainfield getting us the reorder tone, courtesy of the Fiddle. The Marshfield Fiddle very often gets busy, probably because it is a trunk that is in use by legitimate phone calls. Whoever set it up didn't dedicate a trunk just for himself, so sometimes it's busy, and when it is, you very often find yourself going to what looks like a remnant of the old intercept arrangement that went through the cordboard. Here's dialing 26 to go to Marshfield and then 1 when the Fiddle is busy. Nowadays, that is supposed to go down to Brockton AIS, but all it does is ring. Actually, after the first ring, you can hear 3 distinct ticks. Maybe they tried to hook it up to AIS and it didn't work. In any case, sometimes when the Fiddle is busy, you get the same thing, except it appears to be on trunk number 10. You can hear the selector hunting a long way before again going into the ring, the 3 ticks, and then ringing unanswered indefinitely. Here's that. With Cabot's callback circuit being completely unrestricted, well, I just have to do this.
Operator number
4, 5, 4, 2, 1, 1, 1.
Number you have reached 454 2111 is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. 454 2111 is not in service.
I think an operator would have come on the line eventually, but I didn't want to wait. And by the way, that temporarily busied out the Fiddle. But it'll clear in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I think I want to call my operator and ask her something about calling to Barry. You know, Granite 6 and Granite 9. Let's call her.
Operator.
Could I have directory assistance for Barry, please?
Are you dialing information?
Mm-hmm.
Now hold on a second, that was abnormal, and I'm not sure exactly what happened. It looks like our initial operator in St. Johnsbury plugged into some local trunk and dialed a 3-digit code, probably 131, for directory assistance. That resulted in a Lorraine ring, which could be either Montpelier or St. Johnsbury, and an operator answered and said, "Are you calling information?" Then she said, and closed her key. It may have been a St. Johnsbury operator calling across the room to our operator saying, "Hey, you need to send that to White River Junction now." At that point, someone, I don't know if it's the second operator or the first operator, somebody plugs into White River Junction, the main switch in Vermont, and keys 131, and it gives us directory assistance. Perhaps the local directory assistance was just recently closed, and our first operator forgot that directory assistance now has to be keyed into White River Junction, where it's been centralized. Anyway, let's hear that again.
Operator.
Could I have directory assistance for Barry, please?
Are you dialing information?
Mm-hmm.
Directory, what city?
Barry?
Barry, yes.
What's the number for Harry's on the Barry Montpelier Road?
Thank you, one moment. I have a Harry's Discount Pharmacies, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Number is 479-2521.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Operator.
Can I call 479 myself?
No, I have to get it for you. 479.
Yeah.
What's the rest of it?
I'll have to make the call later, but I do want to know for future reference, how much would it cost to call it station to station?
What's the complete number? 479.
2521.
2521?
Mm-hmm. But I don't want to call it right now.
No, but I just want to make out a ticket and cancel. Get credit for my work.
Okay.
One more ticket, 479. Cabot. 50 cents.
50. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, for the first 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I think you know where I'm going with this. Obviously, Barry is a long-distance call. Now, when we were in Marshfield, as featured in Program 4, we discovered that we could actually go through Plainfield to get to Barry as if it were a local call, when in fact it's a long-distance call. This was not a fiddle, it was an oversight. Thanks to the fiddle in Marshfield and the oversight in Plainfield, we can now, from here, Cabot, hop through 2 intermediate offices to call Barry, Granite 6 and Granite 9, as a local call. All we got to do is dial 26 to go to Marshfield, 1 to get the fiddle. That puts us in Plainfield, where we can then dial 76 or 79 to go to the appropriate Barry office. And then the last 4 digits, and there you go.
Number you have reached, 479-2511, has been disconnected. 479-2511 has been disconnected.
I'm not sure what happened there. I dialed 2521. Maybe going through 2 intermediary offices that aren't even supposed to be in the chain mutilated one of the digits. Well, I wanted to get a Barry number ringing, so let's try that again. I'm happy to report that the Barry Step Office is not adding very much traffic to the operators down in Brockton. Because it has automatic number identification, as we heard earlier, it was able to give the specific report on the number without an operator keying it first. And also, they're handling vacant levels correctly, assuming it's a good idea to send it to AIS, but if you're going to do it, this is the way to do it.
47633 is a vacant level. Going to demonstrate this now.
The number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number and dial again. The number you have reached is not in service.
That's all I recorded from Cabot, and boy, is this unique. It's the only place in North America I've seen where you can extend your local calling area by jumping through 2 offices in the middle. Just amazing. It's the only one. Anyway, if you want to see the opposite of Cabot with its 5 ring frequencies serving 10 party lines, you could check out Benson, Vermont. It's an all-relay system that doesn't have frequency ringing. Instead, it has coded ringing to the max. Actually, it's not the most interesting recording because I spend a lot of time just dialing each and every one of the ring codes. But it's unique, and that'll be in this playlist somewhere after this one.